This conference will now be recorded.
Oh,
Oh, well, good morning. Good morning. My name's Randy Goodwin. I'm the tribal liaison for the Minnesota Department of Corrections, and also I've been on loan, part-time loan to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. So glad to be here, everybody, and hope we all have a great day today.
thank you so much, Randy. Again, we had a little late start. I tried my best to brief and share enough highlights about this program. And then hopefully we have enough chance to talk about the review process and whether you have any questions. Just want to make sure that you can see the screen, and which is the RFP reviewer training, the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry, it's not okay. So first of all, I want to introduce our mission. Again, the one of a core mission is the housing. So our agency see housing as the foundation for success. So we want to collaborate with the individuals, communities, and all partners to create, preserve, and finance housing that is affordable. I thought that that's a kind of good reminder for all of us. So I'm going to cover a little bit about this program overview, including the eligibilities and our expectations. I'm going to send the all application related materials, including the RFP guideline and some other important the material after this review meeting. But I thought I can probably share some highlights with you. And then we will talk more details about the review process, criteria, scoring methods, maybe some helpful tips along with the timeline. And if you see, there is a question and answer in the end, but please feel free to ask your question during the presentation. So again, our agency and I think the all Minnesota, we had a very strong commitment to reduce the racial disparities, especially in this housing, the homeless world. We noticed that there is some increase of homelessness in recent years, especially in on the tribal reservations. So we have some continuous commit to enhance our local homeless response system. We have done lots of different kind of the capacity building related funding and some support. So this is out of that intention. And I was in particularly very excited to have this funding opportunity for the first time in this manner. And also I'm very grateful that you joined. Also we are hoping that this the planning grant can be a good opportunity, knowing that recently the Tribal Access to Homeless Assistance Act got signed in last December. So now the tribal nations are eligible to compete the COC funding. So again, like in order to access those kind of a federal or state or any kind of a funding opportunity, you must have the sufficient level of capacity to plan and coordinate. So hopefully this funding can be helpful for that purpose. So our funding, it is up to $100,000 in one-time funding. And it's supposed to cover from July 1st this year through June 30 for the next 12 months. We might select up to 2 applicants, and the maximum award would be $50,000 per each grantee. Eligible applicants are federally recognized tribes in Minnesota, and we did the clear needs and the work plan. Our preference will be given to any collaboration effort among multiple tribes and have some experience managing state funding, and also have some established partnership with some statewide effort to end the homelessness. Through this funding opportunity, we required the following for planning activities. So each applicant must state and present well about how they are going to reduce homelessness among indigenous people and how they can increase system coordination so people can have a better access to important and necessary and eligible resources, and how they can enhance the overall strategy to increase those resources. And then the last but not the least is how they can enhance the collaborative partnership with the state of Minnesota. So this funding can cover the STEP, technology, travel, training, any the cost that can be helpful to accomplish those four planning area. And hopefully that can be a little bit more flexible through this funding opportunity. So again, I think we emphasize a lot about the collaborative partnership. As you see, those required the planning activities outlined in this RFP will be best achieved through effective collaboration with both tribal and non-tribal partners, not only in the region, but also the statewide. So again, the collaboration would be one of the most important themes through this funding opportunity. We do have some reporting and administrative requirements, and the diversity and inclusion would be also very important part to be reviewed. The next couple of things I would like to spend for the review process. The minimum threshold is the application must be submitted by the deadline to the online the tool, and it has to be complete and include all required application checklist items like application itself, and we have a separate signature and the budget material. The good news is that the applicant who submit the application, it was before the deadline, and it all had a complete set. So I think it passed the minimum threshold. We have the three scoring criteria. The first area is needs and capacity, and second is diversity and inclusion. The third is the planning activities, and the total will be the 100 points. So I want to spend a little more time to go over each criteria. Before I go there, I just want to double check whether you have any questions. When I'm in this presentation mode, I cannot see your face. So I just want to make sure that whether I'm missing any of your question, or maybe you raise your hand, but if I missed it. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. So hopefully you don't have a question yet, or you might save that question for later. So the needs and capacity is the part that not only we want to see what would be your homeless related needs, but also the planning needs, such as we see if you have some, here is the applicant. The applicant has the big geographic area to cover and has lots of the homeless needs. and some other resources possibly available to manage, that could be measured as a kind of needs for this grant as well. And the capacity is how the travel planning body has any kind of entity and process and procedures already to support some decisions or even implementation. So having that kind of a demonstration would be important for this section. The diversity and inclusion is, of course, this particular funding is try to address the planning needs in to travel nations. So I think, you know, that is probably a little bit unique compared to other grant making we are doing here. But not only for the racial diversity we are talking about, but also the other kinds of some cultural or ethnic communities, or LGBTQI communities, or people with disabilities or different status. So we are hoping to also learn what kind of a process and structures are available to reach out and collect the inputs from those diverse the population, and how they their voice or participation could impact on the decision making as well. The points are assigned for the planning activities. I already introduced that for the areas that we are requiring. So it doesn't have to be lengthy planning, but we are hoping to see some clarity about what kind of the plan and activities, and who are working to achieve those outcomes, and what kind of timelines and measurable deliverables we should expect through this grant. So we have most our questions are learning about these planning activities. So hopefully that can give you some good information that you can learn from, and maybe hopefully enough for our review process. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how our review criteria, just for your review here. This is going to be emailed right after this training, but our review criteria, there is some kind of instruction in the beginning. Again, when we have low, medium, and high kind of criteria, you can look at some guidelines. When you read those sections, how you can interpret those the information from application to the score. So hopefully our guidelines are clear enough for you. We also put some question number here, where you can get that information by each category. When you give some kind of the extremely high or extremely low scores for each section, I hope you can also provide some kind of the rationale or reasoning behind. So I can utilize that for our selection meeting. In the meantime, it can be a good recorder for us too. So each 3 sections have that low and medium and high again. I hope you can utilize those points in full way. Any question for the review criteria? Okay, then we can go from here. So please use the review criteria as much as possible. And I want to give you the following 3 tips. So the application has to be reviewed only based on its content in the application. So I think when I had some review process as participating those review process as a reviewer, I found that those are quite hard for me. Because I had some prior experience or knowledge about the particular application could be relevant to some questions that got asked through this RFP process. So often I think some knowledge got influenced, the knowledge influenced some of my score, even though I try not to. So I know, I understand it's very hard. However, we really hope you were able to separate those things. However, you can share any information that you know through your experience or from other setting at our review meeting, because I think that is important for us to know. And then maybe as a group, we can discuss how we can take care of that part of information which is not coming from application. Hopefully those information can clarify some question and confirm the information that we read from the application, and possibly develop some plans to work with those applicants. And it should not be scored by other information. Again, I think that's kind of what I just covered. And it should not compelled against other applications. One maybe good or bad news is that we do not have any other applications. So maybe this is not applicable to us. This is how the scorecard look like, which I'm going to also email when I send the application materials to you. So the name of the applicant and your name here, and then here is the score and comment you can write. As you probably know, to participate similar kind of process, all information is public. So if anyone is requesting to see and learn about the review process, then we have to share the all score and comment. So doesn't mean you have to be just nice here, but I think some specific comments will be helpful to support your score. Before I share some more review process, I just want to pause to make sure that you have any question. Okay, so here is our review process and where we are. Last Friday by 4:30, we closed our RFP. As I shared briefly, one application from Minnesota Travel Collaborative received and passed the threshold criteria. We anticipated to have one or maximum 2 applications this time. Is because this is the first time our the funding available through our state setting, and in the meantime we know that this is requiring a certain level of the planning and some experience with the different kind of a homeless response system. So we anticipated it might be just 1 or 2. So as a result, we got 1 application. So we are having some training right now. Again, we are recording for the later viewing if you need it. So I will share the link after this training as well. Probably you got my, you probably checked my email. I think I sent last night to let you know who we got from the application, and let you review whether you have any conflict of interest. So after this training, Meredith is going to send the conflict of interest form to you and all reviewers, including other bilateral observers. So I think it might either apply to you, Corey and Randy, even though you don't score, since you might want to read the application before the selection meeting. So all of us must sign and submit through DocSign. If you do not have experience how to share your the e-signature, I think the email that Meredith is going to send should have those instructions, but sometimes those are not super clear or easy in my mind. So if you have any question and if you need some help, please let me know. Again, I'll be available through email, text, and the phone number I provide in my email. So please let us know. It is very important for us to receive your signed the conflict of interest form because we cannot send any application, scorecard, and other materials until we receive your signature. So please make sure that you check that emails and send the signed conflict of interest form to us. So again, I think we had some opportunity to look at the review criteria, what this application process is looking for as some information from applicant. So when you review, hopefully, I know it's a kind of tight timeline, since our selection meeting is scheduled in the morning on Wednesday, so it's less than even 2 days. But we have only one application, which is about 9 pages of that. And when I read over the weekend, I found this very clear and has some smooth way to read through rather than back and forth to find some information for certain questions. And also we have just 1 page of the budget, so total 10 for you to review. So hopefully that can be a little bit helpful for this tight timeline. Again, we apologize about giving you very limited days and hours to review to meet the timeline for our board meeting to approve this funding. So that way we have some at least minimum days and weeks available to execute the contract that can be started on July 1st this year. So again, the review meeting is going to be on Wednesday. Hopefully, hopefully you can return your score and comments to me by 8 a.m. on Wednesday. If you need more time, that's okay. We can work on that. But maybe like having some the score and comments ready for the review meeting, which is going to start at 9:30, will be very helpful. We have a total of 5 reviewers from state and community partners, and we have actually the 3 observers. One is Randy, and the other is Corey, and also our team manager, Joel Sarcher, is going to join that selection meeting. So when we have at the review meeting, I'm also hoping to learn your feedback about the process. So whether we ask the right questions, whether we ask the right amount of those questions, whether it's too much or it's too few. whether we miss also any voices through our review process and selection time. And also, I think it will be very helpful that what we all as a collaborative partners will do and can do based on what we learn from this process and application. So maybe we can cover that type of a conversation after we come up with some selection recommendation for this the RFP. So the selection recommendation will go to our board meeting, which is on May 27 for approval. And then the applicant will be notified either Friday, otherwise the following the Tuesday, since Monday is a holiday. The funding selections will not be solely based on the application score. So score is giving us definitely the basic start, but your some other comments and the discussion we have at the selection meeting will do the final shape of our recommendation. Again, I think since we have only one application, we don't have to spend a lot of our selection meeting to adjust who should get how much in order to meet our maximum total funding amount. But rather, I think since we have just one application, we will probably see this application is going to be how much priority funding amount will be the appropriate and sufficient for the proposal we receive, knowing that each grantee, the maximum amount we can give is up to $50,000. I think you probably all know, but until our board approve the funding recommendation, the selection information and what you read from the application and what we discussed at the selection meeting are all confidential. So I want to just remind you one more time. Okay, so I think with that, I can probably open for some questions. Now I can maybe stop my screen so I can see your face here. All right, it's good to see your face again. Felt a little bit weird that I'm speaking to the monitor right now. So I felt like I a little bit rushed through this whole application, the information and process. But if there is something is not clear or you have some comment, this is time that you can ask questions.
I think it's really clear. Thank you for doing that. You're going to send out the confidentiality notices for us to sign after this meeting. Is that right?
Okay. Yep. So if Meredith didn't send it yet, she will probably wait until we are done. So you are not distracted by your email, maybe. But I think, you know, the instruction is quite straightforward. So you have to click some link and then, you know, there is some kind of initial and then the e-signature. If you type your name, some column, I think it can generate the e-signature for you if you do not have something that you are already using. So it can give you some option to generate the e-signature for this process, or you can import from your folder and then just put your e-signature, whatever the column we provide. So I found it is not super hard. However, once I had experience to kind of mess up, so I eventually needed some help. Like like after you find what is supposed to be later, oh, I see, it's not that hard. But sometimes that one missing piece can make you all like a blink. So don't feel bad that like, what is this? Just let me know. Again, I will share my phone number again. I'll be available to walk through that process with you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I received the email at like 9:08 this morning, so it did come to my.
Okay, good. And if you can check your email and let me know whether you have that email, also great, because I think the Meredith used my email that I sent last night. Sometimes we know that technology is very smart, but not perfectly we can rely on. So I just want to make sure that whether I made some typo or I got wrong email to start with. Knowing that you are all here, I feel like I have a right email address, but you never know. I cannot train my trust my brain most of times. So any other questions about our process or the review part, or even some the purpose of this funding, anything about this process? All right. Angela, are you trying to say something? Okay.
I was saying I don't think so to myself. Sorry, I was having a no. I think I'm okay. I might have questions when I get into it, but right now I feel
Yep.
pretty clear.
Yep. Okay, great. I think again, I'll be available through Wednesday, even after. If you have some question about our recommendation and funding process later, so don't feel bad. Feel free to call me or text me or email me. I put you in top spot, which give you only, like less than 2 days to review. So if you found, oh my God, it's 9 p.m., is it okay to text her or email her? That's fine. I think it's a kind of fair. So let me know if you have a question anytime. Hopefully I can respond quick enough. Okay, then I think we can close our the reviewer meeting. Again, this is recorded, so I hope I can send the link soon to you, along with the review materials, applications, and others, as soon as we receive your signature on those the conflict of interest form. Okay, then you are good to go. Hopefully you enjoy the review process, and happy reading those or applications. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
You too. Happy Monday.